Alright, what's up guys? It's your neighborhood barber Pete, and I have my boy Ron in the chair today. We're gonna be giving him a little makeover, something inspired by a webtoon. It's the J. Joe hairstyle, where you get the mullet in the back, little textured fringe in the front, and undercut it on the sides. You guys ready? Let's do it. Okay, so before we go ahead and do the haircut, I just want to break down what it is that we're doing. The J. Joe hairstyle has a couple of things to it: an undercut on the sides paired with an ice pick, and then as for the back, you got the mullet, ton of texture, ton of layers, and then on top we have pretty much a textured fringe where everything is layered, sits above the eyebrow. Okay, so the first step is to debulk the sides. We're getting it undercut, so we're going pretty close to the scalp. Okay, go ahead and grab your comb, your clipper, lay the clipper of a comb flat on the head, and take off the hair. The reason why you want to do this is because from the front profile, the hairstyle actually looks a lot slimmer, where the face is elongated and looks sharper. But from the side profile, you can see all the mullet in the back, all texturized and layered. Once you're done with one side, go ahead and do the same on the other side. Immediately after the clipper over comb, you're gonna grab your one guard and we're gonna lightly fade this out. Then we can move on to the ice picks. And then the last step is just gonna fully open it and blend it into the clipper over comb. So now that we're done with the sides, I want to break down why it is that we're doing this and how it's going to tailor to that look. You do want to go with the one. Why? Because you want to create that contrast between the top and the sides. All right? If you're doing a 1.5, it may not come off as light, so you won't see the distinction between the heavier hair on top and the mullet in the back. If you're ever curious on trying this style and you don't have the length for it right now, what I suggest is you try a couple of things. You have the textured crop for now. Get used to the hair laying on your forehead with all the textures on top, and as you have that hairstyle, continue to grow out the back side of the hair. Once that gets long enough, you can start to grow in the taper area with all this. That way, at least you have a nice hairstyle during the process of growing out your hair. So now that we faded in the sides, brought it in nice and tight, we're gonna move on to the lineup. Now this is so important. Why? Because that's what you're gonna see underneath all the hairs on top and the strong mullet on the side. Now it's important that you get it nice and sharp. Why? Because it helps to contour his face. Right now, it's a bit wider than we'd like, so we're gonna curve this in, give it a nice point that would then kind of line up into his jawline. The reason why I wanted to do this style on Ron was because, to be honest, it's a fun hairstyle to do, and I personally think it looks amazing. It's actually super edgy. And also, personally, I wish I could have it myself, but I just don't have the face shape for it, nor do I have the hair. So I gotta put that onto my clients. Like, we've been growing this out for the last 6-7 months. It's been quite a journey. I already know that this is gonna break some necks, and people on the street are gonna be like, yo, who's your barber? Who did that to you? And it can either go both ways. It can either go one way or the other. That's a fucked up haircut, or that looks dope. Let me book him as well. So yes, Ron, you're gonna have to test it out for me. Okay, so after you use a trimmer to line up the ice pick, you also want to top it off with a razor blade. Why? Because it keeps it nice and sharp and allows it to last longer. Up next, we are going to work on the mullet. Now, we want to layer this so that, you know, there's shorter, longer hairs in the mullets. That way it shows a lot more texture. We do want this side of the hair not to pull over that far. Maybe about half of that amount. That way you have some flare here, and you can take some product and really show the texture in the mullet. So what we did was we set in that middle guideline. We're gonna have that as the shortest length, and then we're gonna take that midsection over, direct it to the section next to it, so that we have some longer hairs on this end, shorter hairs on this end, and everything just flows in really nicely to left and right. The reason why I also like to do these type of hairstyles is because it actually challenges a lot of our creativity. It needs a combination of clipper work on the sides as well as like a lot of shear work, which we personally like to do. And longer hairstyles nowadays, personally think they're the new trend. A lot of people used to like skin fades. Now it's either a combination of both or have it all grown out. So I'm down for it all. I like to kind of pull the hairs from the mullet and connect it to the hairs from the parietal ridge And we're gonna be point cutting for this part, just so we don't create such a harsh line. And now for texture, you can go ahead and take the hairs, lift it up, comb it through, and we're gonna be vertically adding textures like this. Does not take off length, just takes off weight and lightens up that area. We're gonna go ahead and do that on both sides. And then from there, we're gonna even out all the length on top, take some length off the bang so it's not covering his face like that. We're gonna go ahead and blend in and layer the sides of the hair right here to the second layer towards the middle. Okay, we're gonna do it on both sides. You're gonna be pretty much done with the haircut, and then we'll dive into products and how to style it. All right, we're done with the cut. This is actually how it looks without it being styled. I think it's cool, it's very natural, and he probably doesn't have to add anything to his hair. But to enhance it for today, we do want to pre-style a little bit and also use a styler. Whenever you're pre-styling the hair, do opt for something that's water-based. It's healthier, also easier to wash out. Go ahead and wet the hair, lightly coat it, get it into the mullet as well. We are gonna be going for a subtle shine today. Take just about a fingertip's worth. You don't need too much. Go ahead and mix it in your hands, run it through the hair. All right, get it down into the roots. Wow, this is looking fire. Thanks for doing this hairstyle with me, man.
Oh, I got you.
The next step is to grab your diffuser and your blow dryer. Grab your diffuser, preferably medium to low heat on medium to high speed. Then what you're gonna be doing is you're just gonna dry out the hair with the pre-styler in it as you scrunch it through to bring out all the texture, all the hidden texture that we put in, and to add a little bit more lift on the top, as well as flaring some of this mullet out. Okay? Okay, so we just pre-styled the hair. A lot of people can get away with just doing this. I do advise you take a styler so that you can get more intricate with the amount of textures you want to show, whether it be like swirling it like this and pushing it forward. It does help to make the hairstyle last longer, so go ahead and do that as well. So another pro
Oh fuck, you good?
Let's do it again. Okay, so another pro tip is use some hairspray on the textures that you've kind of twisted, just so that it doesn't lose its shape throughout the day. So go ahead and swirl it. Once you find the desired look, you're just gonna hairspray. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we completed the haircut. This was a lot of fun to do. Let us know what other hairstyles you want to see. And yeah, if you like what you see here today, go ahead and like, comment, dislike if you want, and find him on the street and tell him that he has a great haircut.